information moving around that Robert Burale has filed a 20 million lawsuit against Rozinah Mwakideu and Alex Mwakideu is apparently false information. But also, let's dig in a little bit. Did that information that Rozinah Mwakideu shared on that podcast worth a lawsuit? My response is absolutely big yes. And this is why. If Robert Burale, if he considers himself as a person who is respectable in society, and maybe he had projects he was doing, he had companies he was handling or working for, and those companies have now decided to part ways with him indefinitely without explaining, and because of this explosive interview that's now going viral almost globally now, if he's losing the contracts, then he can file for a defamation lawsuit. First of all, defamation is false information that taints your image and your reputation in front of the right-thinking people in the society, people that have expectations of you, people that have believed in you and trusted in you with their works, with their projects, with a certain position. If they start thinking and feeling some type of way about you, and then they start exiting, they remove you from their circle, absolutely that is defamation. And the loss is to you as a person, as the character. Your character has been defamed and soiled. Your reputation is now shattered. Then it's worth a lawsuit, a defamation lawsuit. That is defamation 101, and just like I've explained. So it's published, written, and even verbal material. Now in the era of podcast, it's a combination of both. And now that everybody is jumping into the mix, it's ridiculous, wild, and insane. So for Robert Burale, taking the next course of action should be based on the projects that he's handling, yeah? But also, Rozinah Mwakideu had the right to speak her piece, because if for a very long time Robert Burale has been on platforms sharing what he's been sharing about himself, about his past and everything, Rozinah Mwakideu, who was legally involved in the institution of marriage with Robert Burale, equally also has a chance and has a right to speak how she felt in the marriage. So stop shutting her down, telling her this is 13 years later. It's 13 years later because she didn't speak about it the same way Robert Burale has passionately spoken about himself. So she has a right, according to law as well, and even according to freedom of speech. So Rozinah Mwakideu is right in her own way. But of course, when it comes to a person who's massively revered, and that's what we are saying, nobody's a saint. Everybody has a past. You too, you have a past. Robert Burale had a crazy past too. Me too, I had a crazy past too. I'm not perfect, I'm not an angel, I'm not a saint. But digging into those things and reviving them when it's 20 years later, when you've recovered and you've healed and you're now a different person, it absolutely tends to soil your reputation and people will lose trust and faith in you again. But anyways, do you believe that he should file a lawsuit? And on the other side, what should be Rozinah Mwakideu's, reaction? For me, I'd say this: if, and this is my word to you, Rozinah, if he files that alleged, 20 million lawsuit, file a counter lawsuit. Say you are damaged emotionally, you felt abused, you felt taken advantage of, you felt like your time was wasted. If it was in America, Rozinah Mwakideu would be winning. Anyways, I'm just speaking for both sides, okay? If you're seeing what I'm saying. So both of them have a right to say whatever they want because they were conjoined together and they went through things. So Sioni, but anyways, boy child, hananga mtu wa kumtetea, and that's why Robert Burale is being massively vindicated. But just wait and see, it's just a matter of time. But what I was shocked is the things that Andrew Kibe said. And